Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Afridi Manulove. I am a strategist. And what I mean by that is in every concept of life, whether it's education, religion, or just dealing with life, I think of strategy. And my first strategy, of course, is our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And in that, all of our steps are ordered. And so when we think about this particular concept, I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of this event that occurred, but how we change it into leadership and how we empower other people where they will become stronger and be more prepared to lead in this particular world. Also, I want to introduce my project, Living with Faith, Love, and Hope. And the reason why I have intertwined my project, and it will be intertwined with every aspect of my presentations, is because all of my speaking, all of my projects are based on empowerment. It's based on inspiration and motivation. And you will find that those particular concepts are the three keys to success. And I have utilized those since I have been in school. I have utilized those since I've taken many tests and since I've been teaching on all levels, including college. It works. And so we have to inspire, we have to motivate and empower in order to change the perception of this world. All right, so as I said before, if you tune in to the YouTube video, you will find the video Living with Faith, Love, and Hope. Now, if I was to play this video right now, the sound would be very distorted. And so therefore, I'm going to encourage you to go to YouTube, type in Afrida Love, and I want you to go to Living with Faith, Love, and Hope, and you will be able to see the trailer. I thank God that I have many different individuals who are interested in making this particular gig a play and also a movie. And so with this, I want to encourage you to read the book that is on Amazon, Living with Faith, Love, and Hope. It's about three girls, faith, love, and hope. It's symbolic. They're seeking to find the right family to live with. And what they find is that many families only want faith or love, or many families want hope and love. And in the Bible, it says that faith, love, and hope, out of these three, the greatest of these is love. And you have to have all of those three concepts, whether you're dealing with careers, whether you're dealing with relationships, whether you're dealing with the natural world. And so I tell people that faith, love, and hope is the elements or the basis of life. And so if you have those things in a relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, whether it's just a business relationship, then those particular things will allow you to experience greatness in life, even when obstacles may come. So I want you to check my project out. I have the book out. I want to thank all of the individuals who purchased the book. Continue to do that because it supports the further work of more projects that relates to faith, love, and hope. The audience is all audiences. It's an inspiration because it's symbolic. Those three girls are symbolic of what people need and what, you can't select that I just want faith and love, because you have to have hope, and you can't just have hope and love without faith. And so in looking at these things, it's very symbolic. This is for anyone, whether it's children, whether it's adults, and we have some comedy in there. We have just those high points in there that are really engage, inspire, and motivate you, as my theme is in all of my projects. All right, so a little bit about me is that I love to dance, and I also love to read. I love to write. I love to speak. Of course, I love going to church, spending time with my family. But my favorite fan is Whitney Houston, and I want you to check out some of those videos. I use her music in order to remain in shape, in order to build a healthy lifestyle. You can dance off some of those. You can utilize some of those in your classes. For you dance teachers, I want you to check them out. I am going to be making a YouTube video with many videos on health and wellness because I am a certified trainer. I train individuals, and that's just a little bit about me. I high energy, even when I speak, there's nothing dull about my presentations. I always seem to inspire, empower, and motivate the room. And so I want you to check out my YouTube video under Afrida Love. And be sure to connect with me, EMONYA_love@yahoo.com. If you need me to come and demonstrate some dance routines for you or work on a fitness plan for you, then I am the lady. Thank you. The new project that I've started with my writing books and education and health is inspire, motivate, and empower. Each time that I get on stage, each time that I dance, each time that I speak, each time that I deal in the world of education under leadership, whether I'm dealing with students, parents, whether I'm dealing with the community, I want to inspire. Inspire is to be able to have stories that are impactful. Uh, I want to give you a synopsis of what inspiration means. As I said before, I was at a particular organization where there wasn't good leadership. There wasn't a leader who followed confidentiality, a leader who followed civil rights and ethics. And because of that, they started a conspiracy unbeknownst to me. And the goal was to break my character. The goal was to hinder my progress in my career. And with this particular story, without me giving you all of the pieces because I'm just introducing the concept, I want to inspire you and let you know that not only what God has for you, but what you work for and how you deal with people and what you pray for will come to pass no matter what. In that inspiration, you also have within my story of an ineffective leader who basically violated my civil rights. You have individuals such as civil rights leaders, such as huge names, such as Bernice King. You have gospel singers such as Ernest Pugh. You have Steve Harvey, your talk show host, who basically utilize their monies, as I said before, that you guys are giving in order to try to sabotage, but it didn't work. Why? Because of my mindset. My mindset is centered on inspiring people. And so I use those stories, and that's just one story out of my whole lifetime. Unbelievable, huh? That I can share on a platform and that I can really inspire. Then when we speak about the word of motivate, how do we motivate people? We motivate people by giving them those real life stories. You know, you have these people who are calling jobs, the superintendent's sister is calling jobs, and the conspiracy, you have Bernice King, I told you, is writing letters, Ernest Pugh, all these people are known in gospel and on television. And so they're writing these letters trying to hinder my career. But I remained motivated. I remained prayed up. I remained stayed on the call. And I continued to work until I was able to reach the goal. And the goal was to pass my superintendency test, which because of God and because of prayers and because of people like you, I was able to do so. So I want to motivate people when they feel like their doors are shut or when they feel like they can't go on. I want them to know to keep pressing towards the mark and you will reach your goal. But you have to put God first. And a lot of people, I have the liberty to say this because I'm in my own house, but I always put God first. Now, if I was on the platform, I would say whoever you believe in, you have to make sure that you believe in that, whatever that is. But I'm at home, so I believe in God. I put God number one and everything else will fall into place. So that's motivate. When we talk about empower, it's easy, when you have the majority, when you have a group of people who are conspiring against your career, because for whatever reason, and you have a superintendent who's ineffective, you want to empower people that just because you have like hundreds of people, right, who are against for no reason, it's just because you want to continue to make sure that you have goals, and those goals help to empower who you are. And I want to empower you through the I me. I mean means that you look at yourself first, but before you can pour into anyone else, you have to pour into you, because people are not going to pour into you. Why? Because it could be a conspiracy, it could be jealousy. It just all depends. But I want to empower you to become the best person you can be as a leader in leadership. So this brings me what I call love's ethics, and it's leadership in television. And as I said before, my story is very unique because I don't think anyone in history has ever had a superintendent, first of all, who shared confidentiality, and her sister and her brother and her family who actually tried to conspire in order to sabotage someone's career. But you do have that. It happened. And so what happens is, the reason why I put television is because these are the people you see on television. You see Bernice King on television talking about civil rights. You see Steve Harvey on television with Family Feud and the Silly Judge Show. And then you see people like Ernest Pugh who's singing unto God and steady trying to sabotage someone's career. But I do believe that what we reap, what we sow. So when I talk about leadership in television, one of my missions is to make sure that we have positive people representing on television, because that's what our children watch, that's what we watch. And if they see that these people who are utilizing money and paying criminals to be criminals, then they're going to think that they can do it. And so it's like an ongoing cycle. So one of the aspects within my project is to work on television. And I have tapped into many different producers, and I have expressed my concerns of ethics. And for instance, Steve Harvey, paying a criminal to try to sabotage my career. I have no idea who he is. Bernice King, who wrote a letter, and I'll show you her signature of court papers later, but it talks about leadership in television. You can get on television and have this persona in the daytime, and then at night you can be somebody totally different. And so what I want to bring to the spotlight when I speak about my shows and things like that is leadership in television. Who do we have in the spotlight? We definitely don't need Steve Harvey. We definitely don't need Bernice King, because it's contradictory. Every time something happens, then you have Bernice King talking about racism and all of those things, and it's not. What do you call it when you do it to someone who looks like you? You understand? Then you have Steve Harvey, who's on the show. He's giving all these inspirational stories, yet he's paying criminals. So you need people who are grounded and who are good role models for our students. So you will hear me speak a little bit about leadership in television, and I'm also writing a book about it as well. All right, so this is what I call ethical consideration in entertainment. I would like to know how individuals are chosen. For instance, when we talk about the Steve Harvey Judge show, how was he selected? Was this something that someone put in a particular proposal, or what was it? Because first of all, he's not certified to be a judge. Second of all, the show is just running up airtime. And third of all, there is really no type of closure with this, because we have certified judges who are actually judges. And so when people come on the show, on his show, then is it a fair reading of what's supposed to be? Because just looking at the show, he has 2 shows, and there are people such as Monique, people such as Nick Cannon, all of these other people who should have a show, right? And so what do they have to do in order to be considered? Because we talk about ethics, and he's one of the ones who's involved in this conspiracy as a celebrity, as someone who is on television. And as I said before, 20% will agree with this unethical behavior, and then you have the 80%. So I'm only speaking to the 80%. I'm not even speaking to the 20%. And so with this consideration, with 2 different shows, and then you have this judge show, don't we have enough qualified judges in order to stand in the gap? Because this is just, this is for entertainment. And when people come on, especially in court, this is serious. And thinking about the court system, and I had a great case, and it was never considered, okay? And these are certified judges. But then you have this fake judge, and you have these people coming in, and it's just a comedy. That's all it is, to get people to laugh. And I don't believe that serious problems such as suing someone should be a comedy show. This is serious business. And so ethical consideration in entertainment is important, because once again, we have students who are watching these individuals. And anyone who's paying criminals to stay at home, and we have disabled individuals, 19%, then there's a problem with ethical consideration in entertainment. And we see these different problems within schools and with social systems because of the people they're watching on television. Television is entertainment. You can see these people on YouTube. And so it's a problem. And so something needs to be done with that problem. So I'm going to be speaking about ethical consideration in education. Right? So when we think about all of these icons, we talk about why. Why would we have a Steve Harvey on television? Why would we have a Bernice King? Why would we have Ernest Pugh? And looking at these particular things, it shouldn't just be because they are somewhat celebrities. It should be because they have ethics. And these are the same people who are in the conspiracy. And so when we put people in the spotlight, such as entertainment, because we're dealing with our students and we're dealing with people who actually watch these people on television, why are they on television? Why is that judge show on? Is it to entertain, or is it actually to solve a problem? You may say both. Well, it seems like it's just for entertainment, because first of all, he's not a judge. Okay. Second of all, this is a serious matter. Somebody's going to be sued. And you have someone here that's playing around and joking, which there's nothing wrong with having a little entertainment, but something serious like that needs to be given to certified individuals. Secondly, when we talk about civil rights and things like that, one of the faces of civil rights is Bernice King, but yet she wrote a letter, right, to the entities who distribute different certifications for teachers. Her intent is what I'm focusing on. Your intent was to try to keep me from my profession, right? And your intent was to keep me from receiving the monies that I'm supposed to receive, right? Which that's not, to me, that's not the problem. The problem is that you say that you're a civil rights leader, yet you're trying to take away my civil rights. And then every time something happens and it has to be someone of a different color, then you want to holler racism or discrimination when it's just do what you're supposed to do and comply with the rules. One of the problems that we see in society that nobody wants to talk about, and this is in every culture, is people don't know when to stop, right? The police tell you, give you a command, stop. You keep going. Just like with them, they know that this is wrong to have a conspiracy. They know that it's wrong to continue with it, right? They don't know when to stop. And so therefore, we go into entertainment and speak about that. And we seek out those people who are putting these people on television because they don't have any ethics. You know, you could be the face of civil rights, you could be the face of comedy, but if you don't have any ethics, then you're not teaching anybody a lesson, right? You're teaching them how to be criminals. So they're paying a criminal, right? And once again, we have 19.3 disabled people who are working every day while the criminals sit at home and get paid by people like Bernice, people like Steve Harvey. And that's a problem, right? And I have no idea who they are. I just know them from television, right? Okay, so the who. So Mr. Thomas Sowell said, when you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help yourself, you tell them what they want to hear. Many times, and I'm going to give you an example, as I said before, the superintendent who is ineffective, basically, they haven't told me the truth, right? And it's one thing to try to sabotage someone's character, but it's another thing to harass and to follow them. Her sister, you know what I'm saying? Her sister and her brother. This is superintendent's sister and brother. And instead of telling people the truth, my sister and brother is doing this, then you want to turn it around. But when you want to help yourself, you tell them what they want to hear, right? And the fact of the matter is you're ineffective as a leader. And you need to tell people the truth, especially if there's a problem. You need to tell them what the problem is instead of getting a conspiracy and harassing them and following them. And once again, when we talk about the education system, some components of the education system is messed up. We have 99.9% of superintendents who are doing what they're supposed to, and then we have this one here. There's no accountability for this one. Ineffective. You should never share confidential information. You should never, if the board vote on something, then you're supposed to adhere to that, whether you like it or not. That's your board. Those are your bosses, right? Whether you like it or not. But this one hasn't, so that's going to be brought out. Now, when you want to help someone, you tell them the truth. And I'm being honest because I want to help you, because what this is ongoing continuation, but God is still blessing me. Pass my test, you know, God's going to bless me with leadership and many different things, movies, many different things is coming. But I want to share this with you as a testimony, as a story to what? Inspire, motivate, and empower. And I'm going to get a shirt made like that: inspire, motivate, and empower. And so we have to tell people the truth instead of what they want to hear, right? We have to be truthful with people. And the superintendent is ineffective because you didn't communicate. Your cousin has formed a conspiracy, but guess what? That conspiracy can't stop what God has for me. Because I have great news to tell you, but that'll be in my other presentations. But in my presentations, I'm going to filtrate the happening or the situation with the great things that are also occurring. So what are the benefits of being a great leader? What are the benefits? You know, great leaders are teachers. They're not tyrants. They help their followers see and understand more. And they inspire them to become more motivated, right? And to do more. You have to look at that quote. When we talk about great leaders, right? They are teachers. They teach. One of my components in life and in my new program, IME, is to teach you to pour into yourself as a leader, and then you can pour into others. You're not able to pour into others when your cup is empty. And so you always want to teach. I've had some great principals and great superintendents besides this one ineffective one. And one thing that I can say about all of them, they are teachers. They inspire and they help you to become and do more. Those are the type of leaders that I am cultivating and growing. And so with my program, I want to attract people who want to become leaders, whether it's in education, whether it's in health, whether it's spirituality, but it's all the same because I have a powerful story to tell you. I'm teaching you things that I've learned through the process of having an ineffective leader. I have a story to tell. It's not what I heard, it's not what I read in the book. And when we talk about this, I want you to understand that these are professional people. This is a huge law firm in Texas. You know, Jim Walsh law firm, huge. It's huge in Texas. And these are the one of the law firms that helps this particular district and this ineffective superintendent. And part of it is the law firm, when they're writing letters to courts or they're writing letters to agencies saying that all the information is false. Then what do you do as a leader? How do you get over that as a leader? Those are particular things we're going to tackle. So that's why you need to be in my program. Peter Drucker also said, doing the right thing is more important than doing the thing right, right? When we do the right thing, we don't hurt anyone. But when we do something right, that is also important. But doing the right thing is more important. So as a leader, right, if someone was on their own time and it's not a crime, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to embezzle money or steal money. I'm not going to allow my cousin to form a conspiracy. I'm not going to do any of that and then get the face of civil rights, get celebrities and all these people to try to sabotage this particular person. Just not going to do it. It's not going to work. But because that occurred, now I have a platform. Now I have a story to tell that actually happened to me. And so doing the right thing is more important than doing the thing right. So getting the word out there, when you donate to the center, the King Center, you never know what you're donating to, because this is the same people, right, who is in the conspiracy, who's paying for a criminal to stay at home while 19% of our disabled people, right, are working. Then you have the Steve Harvey's, right? He has 2 shows. That's being greedy when you could have Monique or Nick Cannon having a show, or somebody else who's more ethical. His money is going to criminals. So every time you flip on the TV, every time you pay at the center, you are supporting criminals. Think about it like that. And so doing the right thing is more important than doing the thing right. This is right. Letting you know the information. I'm being just straightforward with you. Nobody can tell this story better than I can because it happened to me. And so, of course, you're going to have the 20%, hey, man, good, we love this show. And you're going to have the 80% that says, this is not right. I'm not doing this. Okay? So how will my presentations present professional growth? Well, first of all, I have an educational story. It's an educational story that what? Inspire, motivate, and empower. It helps with professional growth. And with this particular presentation, you will go through many different tasks. You will go through problem solving. What would you do as the leader? You may be a business person. You may be a superintendent. You may be a teacher. You're still a leader in your classroom. You may be a lawyer. You're still a leader. You may be a doctor. I have a law story as well, right? What would you do if this was your law firm and you had someone like Shelley who writes letters to courts? What would you do with her? How would you be a professional and address that? We need to know these things because we have to prepare leaders. If we continue to allow unethical leaders to lead this world, we're going to continue to develop unethical people, which we don't need. And what happens is when we have our students or our children, then they're going to become unethical. So we have to stop that. So let's make sure that within this presentation, you are going to grow professionally because we go through many different tasks and I have a real life story that we can divide up within 6 weeks and you can really think about it, maximize your skills on what you would do in this particular situation, because it's a very unique situation because you have a superintendent, first of all, who's ineffective, right, who is part of the conspiracy. Then you have her sister, her brother, her mother, and then you have her cousin and the people in the entertainment field. Then you have the face of civil rights one of the faces. And then you have these people who are pouring in money. And at the same time, you as a person, because you have the smarts and you have all those skills, you're steady going on, but yet they're calling. What would you do? They're calling employers. They're sending letters. And this is superintendent of the school. This is the lawyer, Jim Walsh Law Firm in Austin, Texas, who's the representative. They're one of the biggest. You'll see them in conferences and things of that nature. But I want to get it out that writing a letter to a court because you don't want to be you don't want to face the person and because you know that the person will win, that's unacceptable. And so those type of things, what would you do in that situation? So you will grow as a professional. And I have a little certificate after the program. Okay. All right. So this is my favorite section. We get into the acronym of IME, which means that you have to look at yourself. It's a personal thing. So we inspire, right? All of my conferences inspire you to become better because this is what I experience. Now, when you talk about experience is usually something that you're there experiencing. But just think about it when you go to apply for jobs or you go to apply for leadership and you have the superintendent's sister calling or you have her cousin calling who doesn't work. None of these people work, right? How do you as a person use this story to inspire? So part of the professional growth will be creating stories that inspire. You may have a story, but your story is totally different from mine, I guarantee you. But I can help you make your story into an inspirational story where you can get on stage and speak to many different people. And we're not making up stories. This is research that I did and this is what happened. No, this happened to me. This is a superintendent, certified. This is a certified lawyer with the biggest law firm. This is Bernice King, the civil rights movement person, late Dr. Martin Luther King's daughter and her son. This is Ernest Pugh, the gospel singer, right? This is Steve Harvey, the man that you see on television, right? These people, this is not anything fake. This is real. And so using your story to inspire people is what we're going to do. Now, as I said before, I can tell you about the process and the court cases online. I can tell you about all of that. But unless I have actually experienced that, it's not inspirational. How did you overcome that? How did you pass that superintendency test when you have Bernice King and all these people paying to conspire to try to block you from a job and all that? How do you do that? Well, my secret is God. But also, in addition to God, God says you have to have faith, right? So if I was in a school or organization, I would say whoever you believe in, then you need to keep believing in that. But also you go further to begin to tell your story in a way that will help inspire others. Okay? So inspire. All right, so the next acronym is motivate. You know, when we think about engagement in the classrooms and we think about people, we want to motivate them to become better. People are, in the field of education, I really want to recruit educators. I want to recruit leaders. And I want them to be motivated when they go into the classrooms. As a leader, as a superintendent, as a principal, I want to be able to be the cheerleader for my team. And I want it to be genuine. I don't want it to be rah, rah, go, go, go. No, I want you to engage in activities. I want you to be able to express yourself. I want you to tell me what you need in order to be successful. Part of this training is telling me this is what I'm deficient in. This is what I want more of. So that when you come to my next training, you will see those things. And so when we talk about motivate, we want to motivate you to be authentically ready and prepared. When I go to work, I am motivated to go to work. Now, there are some times, and this is with every job, that there are experiences that it's like, oh my gosh. But for the most part, 99% of my day, I'm motivated to do my best. And so when we do our best and we're motivated to do our best, we give our best to our clients. Your clients could be, if you're a house builder, it could be the homeowners, it could be the students, it could be patients, it could be anyone. But with this program, I motivate you through my story. How do you do that when the superintendent is ineffective and the superintendent is unethical? How do you still pass your test? How do you still pass when you have her sister writing letters? She has access. Every time you put down a reference, they have it because you have to put it down. If you don't put it down, they think you're hiding something. How do you do that? I have the answers. You have to come to my training. How do you do that when the face of civil rights, Bernice King, is writing a letter to the people who are supposed to, renew your credentials? How do you do that? Easy. I can motivate and empower you, right? Okay. Now we're up to the big word, empower. Empower is the word that really helps to foster a community that is productive. How, look at this picture. How do I empower all of these individuals? These are the amount of individuals who will be in my presentation, this representation. You will have one, such as this white figure here that stands out, that will come beaming, ready. And then you have others, the brown ones, right, who are in the middle. Then you have the ones in the back who, I don't want to be here, I'm almost out the door. And so with this story, my story has to inspire, motivate, and empower. How, what tools do I give you? What do you do when this huge law firm who comes to conference, as a matter of fact, they're coming to a conference in June, is disseminating information on law and they don't even follow it? How do you do that? How do you do that? You have to put down these references. How do you empower people to continue to remain in the field, continue to go as high as you can? How do you empower people? You have to come to my workshop to find out. Empowerment is so important. Matter of fact, my middle name is EM, right? M, because I want to empower people to become better. So all of these people are coming. And one person is coming, beaming, ready. The others, they're in the middle, and these people are ready to go. What are you going to do to empower them? I have a story to tell. And it's a good story. And it's not something that I heard. It's not something that I made up. It happened to me. How do you do that? So without further ado, I want you to contact and connect with me. My name is Dr. Alfreda Love. I do have a project, Living with Love, Faith, and Hope. And my book is online. Actually, it's Living with Faith, Love, and Hope. It's a book project that it will be a movie, a big movie. I want to thank each and every one of you who have purchased the book. Continue to do so. These books can be utilized in school libraries. It can also be utilized in regular libraries, in your homes. When we talk about the faith, hope, and love, it's not churchy. It's more inspirational. So I want you to really check it out. I have a radio show, national, blogtalkradio.com/Freda Love. Please sure to check that out. I interview authors, writers, actors, anyone with a positive message. My email is emony_love@yahoo.com. Once again, my book is Living with Faith, Love. It's supposed to be Faith, Love, and Hope, by Dr. Alfreda Love, Amazon. Just type in my name and you'll see the book. Now I do have a book out there. It's a spiritual guide on the go, but that was the wrong edition. So that book will come off the shelf. I am actually in the process of re-editing that book, but I want you to check that out. So connect with me and get ready to have a great presentation. I will be presenting at least twice a week. We will have empowerment conferences, conferences. You have to pour into yourself first before you can pour into anyone else. Thank you so much for listening.